Something powerful I learned from Russell Brand today. Russell Brand takes us into a new perspective about the meaning of love that is explained by St. Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 from verse 4. He talks about, in this scripture it says, love is always patient and kind. Love is never jealous. Love is not boastful or conceited. And goes on and on about the meaning of love. But Russell Brand says that we should bring our name and place it where we would say love as we define what the meaning of love is. And yes, it should be so, because most times we think that love is external. Love is something that is outside of us. But in reality, love is who we are. We are made in love. We are made in the image and likeness of God. So we are love itself. And being aware of this, you know that you don't need to struggle or do something strange, because the nature of who you are, the God in you, is love and would always give love, because love is more about giving than receiving. And I say, okay, I'm going to do it with my name. And I encourage you to do it with your name and see what comes up in here as you take up this reading. And that way you can redefine what love means to you and bring it to your daily duties and bring it to your daily activities in your workspace, in your ministry, in every area of your life. So I'm placing my name now to take the meaning of love from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Uju is always patient and kind. Uju is never jealous. Uju is not boastful or conceited. Uju is never rude and never seeks its own advantage. Uju does not take offense or store up grievances. Uju does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but finds its joy in the truth. Uju is always ready to make allowances, to trust, to hope, and to endure whatever comes. Uju never comes to an end. Ooh, how beautiful is that? You see, when you begin to define love, placing your name where love should be, because you are love itself, it hits you how much you ought to be patient, how much you should be kind, how much you should not rejoice over wrongdoing, how much you should find joy in the truth, how much you should make allowances. You should be ready to make allowances, how much you should trust and hope and endure whatever comes. And lastly, it says, love never ends. I don't know how to explain this so that you would get it. Love never ends. You know, when people get into relationships, they meddle with the external stuffs, the body stuffs, and then when they break up, they are hurting and they are like, I don't love this person anymore. This love is ended. I've always believed from my young years as a child that love never ends. And as a single mom, being away from my ex-husband because we're no longer together, when I say this, some friends, some close family members look at me like, you're crazy. How can you say that you still love your ex? Of course I love him. I've always loved him, and I will love him till eternity. And I'll explain something to you. I had a conversation with my ex some time, and we were talking about something and going back and forth about how, oh, you said you love me and now you don't love me and all that. And I said, wait a minute. I love you from the beginning, from the day one that we met. I loved you. Until today, I still love you. And he's like, how? How do you mean that? How do you love me? If you love me, you wouldn't leave me. You wouldn't be away from me. If you love me, things that are going on, the differences between us, the distance between us won't be there. And I say, listen, I love you. And I'll prove to you that truly I love you. We have 3 children together. You've left me with these 3 children. You don't assist me financially as should. You don't assist me emotionally as should. you are not there for these children we both brought into the world. And instead of doing the same thing you did by abandoning the children we have, by just leaving them with my family member and just disappearing to somewhere to live life just like you're living, or get married, have another spouse, enjoy life, and live life the way I want, I stayed with the children we had together. That is love. Love is patient. Love is sacrifice. Love is self-giving. It doesn't take, it's self-giving. And the moment you get this, that love is not all about what you get, but what you give. That love is about me forgetting myself, about me letting go of going ahead to run my master's, to further my education, to reach my highest potential academically, and letting my children be the one to shine because I have to be there for them. Being an only parent, that is love. The fact that I have to turn down some jobs because I have to be present to my children, that is love. The fact that I have to slow down so that they can come up, they can rise, that is love. So just look deep within in your relationships, in your home, in your workspace, with your spouse. What does love mean to you? Do you think that love is what the other person should give to you? Or do you think that love is who you are, and that self-giving, the giving of self constantly, the pouring of self constantly? I think after I had this conversation with my ex, he didn't have anything to say, of course, because he knows that I love him and will love him for all eternity. And reading the scripture again today, it kind of reaffirms my position about what love is, that love never ends. That the very first time I said, I love you, I meant it. I meant every word that I said, that I loved him. And it wasn't about this flesh. It wasn't about the emotions at the time. It wasn't about the external stuffs. It was more about the deep stuffs, the sacrifice. And that's why, like some single parents who might have chosen to get married and might have chosen to, leave their kids with someone and travel abroad or go somewhere, I have chosen to be with my kids, and that is loving this man. So if you are not giving yourself, if you're not seeing love as something deeper than just what you get from the other person, you need to think again. You need to read the scripture. You need to read 1 Corinthians 13 and place your name where the love is meant to be, and take that reading and watch what comes in here. Take a deep breath and reflect on what love means to you at that moment, and begin now to understand and bring yourself to the true service of what love is, the true sacrifice of what love is.